After several years of very little hurricane activity, once again, the Gulf Coast has been struck by a number of powerful hurricanes. In this exclusive interview with Insurance Journal magazine, Louisiana's Insurance Commissioner, Jim Donelon, talks about how that might affect insurance rates in coastal insurance in Louisiana.
My first concern is that the industry's effort, and there are several different takes on how to go about getting federal help for our coastal insurance crisis. That is not unique to Louisiana, but in fact is spread across 18 states from Maine to Miami and around to Brownville, Texas. I welcome and urge the federal government to get into the business of assisting companies in providing that coverage, whether that's to allow tax-free reserving for cat losses, a single policy to include flood, earthquake, and wind, and terrorism, modeled after what they did post 9/11 in creating a Terrorism Reinsurance Act, or CAT fund, if you will, or the State Farm All-State proposal. The first thing I ask them to do is not to use that as an excuse to deregulate and remove jurisdiction from the states that allows us to protect consumers. And we really do that very well, not just in Louisiana, but all across the country. Much better, in my opinion, than the federal government does in protecting the consumers of banking products, for example. So my first concern is that this not be an invitation or an opportunity for the feds to displace us and deregulate, stripping us of our consumer protection ability. Secondly, I support a terrorism reinsurance type of CAT fund or a State Farm All-State type of proposal if it has a high enough trigger. In other words, it doesn't kick in until the event is catastrophic of such a nature that will allow for, under that extraordinary cap, competition to continue amongst the companies that are opposed to a CAT fund because they don't want the government subsidizing the market share that the big boys, quote unquote, have acquired. They want to be able to compete. I think that competition is healthy for consumers. So I want the trigger to be high enough that that competition continues, while at the same time affording some umbrella of protection for companies against the next Andrew or the next Katrina that has the potential of shutting down the property insurance market in coastal America.